So I just wanted to give you some more encouragement for the day, to go do some really amazing things today. It's bright and early for me. I've shifted my schedule a little bit, so I'm actually getting to work early and then leaving early to do swimming, to go pick up my kids. But I just wanted to give everybody some encouragement today to, just to have at her. I know that not everybody feels great in the morning. I usually feel really good. In the evening, I feel like grumpy. But I just want to give everybody some encouragement. I think today is actually going to be a inspiring and hopeful day. I think you need to remember that you just got to do little bits. So you're probably thinking that you're going to accomplish all sorts of stuff today, but you got to take a pause and say, hey, wait a minute. All I need to do, if I just show up, and even if I don't know what your job is. My job is writing, sitting down and writing different things. If I just show up and I type one word, I'm doing better than everybody else. If you just show up to the job site and you just lift one piece of lumber, hey, you're doing better than everybody else. Nobody else showed up. So you got to remember that, like, actually frame what you're doing and sort of make sense of what you're actually doing. That is vitally important for all of us to make sense, like take a big picture perspective and look at what's actually going on. At least you can show up. So even if you're in your 70s right now, you're listening to this, hey, why not go and do something that's exciting that you want to do, that you've always wanted to do? And I know that many of you probably are not knowing what you want to do at this moment, but that's okay too. Just start on something that that you feel good about today. That's it. There's no reason for you not to be something really good. So if you like, hey, why don't you make a nice breakfast this morning? If you like, if you like riding bikes, go get an amazing bike ride today, and just enjoy the day. I think we forget that it's kind of wonderful to do what we can do. If you look around, like all the little tiny things and how things actually work it's so intricately complicated, and yet they all still work. So it's really fun to do some of these things. Just do anything, like just live, right? Like I do get down a lot, and that's okay, right? Like where how we get down, that is completely human, and you should never feel guilty about being down and being just like I can't get, can't get anywhere. That's totally human. That's nuts if you don't feel like that, right? Like you are if you never feel down, if you never feel those moments of like this is not working out all right, you are definitely some odd duck, because I think most people feel down. But then we've got to remember those moments of when you feel down are an absolute blessing, because that means on the moments where you feel great and it's a good day, everything's going your way. You actually have some perspective on what a good day actually looks like and how it feels. So I want everybody to remember that if they're listening to this is, just go do little things. Don't worry about some big project, actually do a gigantic thing or accomplishing something. Don't worry about, well, I'm going to, change the world. Do one little step at a time, and whatever it looks like, something minor, and start there, whatever that sort of minor thing actually is, and just have that little bit of encouragement to yourself to do that little tiny minor thing. If your minor thing is, I'm going to walk a mile today, which the last few days for me has been a little dicey. I really get some exercise, but there's been like things going on. But yeah, if your goal is to walk a mile, well, then why don't you just start walking 500 feet today? That's all you need to do. That's it. And just slowly get there. And the hardest part of anything is just showing up. That's it. Telling you, every time that I do something, it's always I need to get myself out of. I'm in this men's club, or I haven't gone in a while. I hurt myself. But they used to say getting out of the fart sack, like getting out of your bed. So, you just got to get out of your bed and get going, right? That's the hardest part, is getting out of that fart sack. And once you show up, it's actually kind of fun. You're tired. You're like, oh, I don't want to do this, but hey, you actually get it done. So remember that as you go about your day. You're showing up. You're there. You're listening right now. You're showing up. So just be thankful that you get the chance to actually have the opportunity to show up at anything in your life. All of that stuff is a blessing. It really is. To have anything in this world is a blessing. It would have been hard most of our careers, most of the stuff that we possess 100 years ago did not exist. They did not. Most of our careers. The things that we do, all of the opportunities we have 100 years ago did not exist. So you should be thankful that we have these opportunities. And our world is so full of amazing things. I mean, it's crazy that we think that something that's like 30 or 40 years old now is old and we should, get rid of it or renew it or whatever. Like, we're just so wealthy and we're so at a moment in time that the vast majority of the people in the world are doing a lot better. Even the poorest of the poor are doing a lot better than what they used to 100 years ago. And so we should always have that sort of perspective. I'm not saying that it's like perfect, and I'm not saying that there's not pain and suffering in this world, but we are doing way better. And many, many, many more people are doing extremely better compared to what it used to be 100 years ago. So always have that perspective. Don't lose sight of that. We just have unbelievable opportunities. And when there's massive, big problems that seem like we can't solve, like climate change and crazy politics and all that kind of stuff, take a step back and have a breather and say, we can solve this. Something is possible. This is possible. We've solved many things in the past that were seemingly crazy and impossible, and I think we could do that in the future. So just have that perspective in mind, because I think we do have a lot of possibility going forward. So thanks so much for everybody that's listening. I appreciate you, Jared, CJ, Dion, Ishmael. You're always there. Nice. Martin John, too. Thank you. Neek, Sudoku, and Pastor Rick. We just have so much possibility, and I think we can't lose sight of that. And the way that you can see that we have enormous possibility is just look at where we've come in the last 100 years. Yes, there is a lot of stupidity, lots of people hurting each other, doing all sorts of things. But we understand now that emotions are real. We understand that hurting other people is a bad thing. That was not even around 100 years ago. We did not comprehend that as a society, as a global nation. We did not understand that hurting other people was not good. Most of us understood as like cutthroat. But now we understand, many of us understand that, hey, we can be so much more productive, so much better off if everybody treats each other kindly. And I think people that don't recognize that in our current global culture are obviously seeing the repercussions of their actions. So we just need to take a step back and know that there is some pain and suffering. I'm not naive to that, but most of us around the world are far better off than what we used to be 100 years ago. So just think about that. Keep going and have a wonderful day.